after years of dreaming, of making a difference in the lives of youth, she graduates. She gets her first teaching position and starts her first day as a teacher. Immediately, the pulsating pressure of being responsible for 25 students, it builds. But not just 25 students, 25 minds, 25 hearts, and 25 future. The stress of it all, it builds up along with the never-ending workload. A good day is one where she doesn't cry or want to cry. And she can finish grading and planning before midnight. How can I manage this, she thinks? How can I engage and motivate and educate my students without burning out, without giving up? She gets hours and hours of professional development, but none on how to sustain in a career where 40% of those who enter leave within the first 5 years. She doesn't get help. She doesn't get answers. Her university didn't prepare her for the truths behind being a teacher, which she believes to be one of the most noble professions in the world. She toughs it out. But over the years, she develops anxiety and becomes one of the teachers she was told to avoid in the teacher's lounge. The ones that are overwhelmed, tired, and venting daily. But no one had ever told her why there are so many of those teachers. She never gets help, and no one seems to care. You may be thinking that this is my story, but the truth is that this is the story of millions of teachers around the world. Yes, I was a teacher for 10 years, and I can definitely relate to some of the challenges of she. But low teacher morale and teacher burnout are a global epidemic that is costing all of us. It costs us a lot of money, but it costs us more than money. But according to the learning statistics of 2017, it does cost $20,000 to replace one teacher. Now, $20,000, I want you to think about that. With 15% of 3.7 million teachers leaving the profession each year, you do the math. No, I'm serious. You do the math. I was an English teacher, okay? But really, that's a lot of money. Money that could go toward helping our students. Money that could go toward supporting our teachers. This epidemic is also costing us healthy teachers. According to a statistic that was done by an assessment, rather, of teacher morale and teacher burnout, it was 8,000 participants. 50% of them say that they work more than 50 hours a week. More than 60% say that they are getting less than 6 hours of sleep per night. And 75% of the teachers that participated in this assessment tool say that they're either dealing with headaches or dizziness on a regular basis, heart palpitations, chest pain, or some sort of stomach issue. All of these can be directly related to ongoing stress. In turn, this epidemic is costing us an opportunity to have teachers that are thriving through the school year, not just barely surviving school year. This epidemic costs us achievement, disengagement, and absenteeism of teachers due to ongoing stress significantly impacts student growth. This epidemic of low teacher morale and teacher burnout is also costing us great educators, people who got into this profession because they want to see students succeed, people who got into this profession because they believe in students and they really care. It is costing us, people like me. As I mentioned to you, I was a teacher for 10 years. I taught middle school. Yes, middle school. I know what you're thinking. Oh, middle schoolers. That's the real reason that she doesn't teach anymore. But actually, I love teaching middle schoolers. When I first began teaching, my heart would sing, I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. But by my 10th year, my heart was singing a different tune. Welcome to the jungle, it gets worse every day. I'm just kidding. I'm being silly, but you know, to be honest, being a teacher with all the responsibilities, the ever-changing policies, new evaluation systems, common assessments, district assessments, state assessments, and on and on and on. It gets tough. Really tough. So just thinking about it, you know, just the grading of papers alone, it's overwhelming. I mean, teachers grade hundreds and hundreds of papers each year. We are to plan lessons that are differentiated according to assessment data. And by the way, your effectiveness as a teacher and your evaluations are greatly based on the achievement of all the students on your roster. That's even if you have students that were absent 80 of 180 days, which it does happen, or if you have new students that come in 2 months before the state assessment, 2, 3, 4 years behind. Teachers are the wardrobe police. Pull that skirt down. We are the pencil police. Rico, didn't I tell you to give Janiyah her pencil back? Now what happened to the pencils that Miss McCloud gave you yesterday, Rico? Teachers are sometimes security. Teachers are counselors. Teachers are caregivers. Yes, we're caregivers. Our students go through things that you can't even imagine. And it hurts when you want to help, but you don't know what to do, or when there's times that there's nothing that you can do. In my career, students have died. And There was no real help for teachers on how to get through a loss while helping their kids get through a loss too. Our kids. That's what you will hear most teachers refer to their students as, their kids. The overwhelming majority of teachers really care about their kids. But who really cares about the teachers? Oh yeah, but that's right. Teachers do have all of those days off. Well, I want you to imagine this. You have a cell phone and the battery is down to 1%. You get 10 minutes to charge your cell phone. How soon will it be before your cell phone battery is right back to 1%? Ultimately, who's teaching teachers how to take care of themselves and prevent teacher burnout under such a stressful job? Who is informing leaders of the importance of teacher morale and boosting teachers emotionally, mentally, and physically? Who is challenging educational leaders to understand the priority of teacher morale and teacher burnout prevention? Well, I'm one. When I left the classroom, one of my goals was to create and present professional development to help teachers understand how to prevent burnout and to boost their morale. I am happy to say that teachers are taking my class called Reboot, Refuel, Reignite, and they are really loving it. I do face-to-face classes, and in the evaluation, so many teachers say, thank you for discussing our physical, mental, and emotional health. We must stop ignoring the elephant in the classroom. It is going to take all of us, not just educators, to make teacher morale and teacher burnout a priority. First, we must educate our teachers about burnout prevention before they enter the classroom. So many young teachers leave the profession because they have not been taught by their universities and colleges about how to deal with the stresses of being an educator. In addition, our universities and our colleges need to make burnout prevention a priority when creating curriculum for our educators. Another thing, principal and superintendent programs. In those programs, they need to emphasize the importance of teacher burnout prevention. You cannot have a school with great climate and culture when your teachers are burnt out. Teacher morale is a huge factor in climate and culture. If you have happier teachers, you will have happier schools. Community members, I'm talking to you. We have to support our teachers. We have to support initiatives to prevent burnout and boost teacher morale. If you're a yoga instructor, maybe you can do a yoga class for teachers once a month. Why don't you volunteer at the school? Maybe give some school supplies. Urban and rural schools especially need the support of the community. Sometimes we don't value the resilience, the patience, and the knowledge of a teacher until a few consecutive snow days. And then parents are looking out the window praying, Lord, please let these children go back to school. We have all had at least one magnificent teacher, one who we will never forget. We have all also had one stressed out, burnout, tired teacher whom we also will never forget. Consider this. Consider that that teacher may have just needed some guidance, some direction, some education on how to prevent burnout. So please support teachers. Support initiatives to boost teacher morale. For each of us leaves a child that we love and know in the care of a teacher. So it is time for us to care for our teachers. Thank you.